All right, what's going on, guys? Back with another breakdown. Today we are going to do a recent sample. I've been doing a lot of these vintage samples, and one thing I haven't really broken down is a vintage sample that is usable for modern trap stuff. So I was listening to the new Nardo Wick just to listen through, and I think maybe the first song has a sample kind of like this, where it's like kind of a long intro and then it drops into a simple beat. That was kind of the inspiration for this idea. So this is one that could work for someone like Nardo Wick or 21 Savage, you know, kind of hard trap guys. It's a pretty simple idea, and it's just about, again, like I always say, choosing the right instruments, the right tones, and just putting a good idea together that is easy to make a beat over.
I'm trying to change your mind. I'm trying so hard. Go on.
So that's a sample. You can hear where that beat is supposed to come in, just a hard trap beat. But the idea itself is pretty simple. There's really only a piano, 2 string layers, and the vocal. That's really it, and then the noise. This idea actually started in Playbox because I was just looking for chords. I tend to always use the same chords over and over and over. So I went into Playbox kind of trying to figure out my chord progression for where I was going to go. And this is where the original chord progression came from. But then I went ahead and changed the chords anyway. So I don't know how much of that original chord progression I actually ended up using. After kind of rewriting that chord progression, this is what it sounds like. The next track here is another layer of strings. You can hear that that one has the tremolo. When you put them together, it just adds a little bit of that realistic movement of the tremolo, but you still get the clean strings as well. And that is just a complete copy and paste of the chords. And then the last instrument here is the piano. So on the piano, you can see I kind of spread the chords a little bit here so that I could have some low bass notes in there. So the piano chords sound like this. So that's the piano. Didn't strum it at all. I didn't play it in. I just let it all hit at the same time. And it sounds okay in the final. And then the last part here are the vocals. And so all of these vocals are actually from my latest pack, Mahogany Segments. This was a session vocalist that I hired to sing on a different project. And I've just been kind of using these same vocals that are from that other project on new projects when they can fit. So as you can see here, I dragged in like all of the vocals, the little vocal segments that are from that pack to see which ones I could fit in here and make it kind of make sense like it's actually a song. And then all of those vocals are running to a bus. I didn't have to do a whole lot to these vocals because I already processed them to add them into the Mahogany Segments sample pack. So here are those segments.
I'm trying to change your mind. I'm trying so hard.
So you can hear, I kind of tried to pick pieces that made sense and actually sounded like maybe she would be singing on this song instead of just picking whatever and throwing it in there. As for the part where the drums would actually come in, you can hear all that's happening is I'm repeating that last 8-bar section. I'm just repeating that 3 times, and then I'm kind of doing like a chord change for the 4th bar. I'm kind of going and chopping up those 4 and 5 chords that we talked about earlier. So you can see that that was just chopped directly from here. I'm just trying to make it sound like it was from a record being chopped. So those are the kind of the instruments and the arrangement. So the only thing left to talk about really is this final mix bus. And that's this whole project. So I hope you liked that one. Hope you learned something. And as always, thank you so much for the support.